그대 왜 이런 곳에서 홀로 비를 맞으며 걷고 있는 거지?
Go. One done. Actually, this here. We need to set up in advance.
우산이 없다고?
Okay. Crimson checkmate. Luke. Hello. Luke, the boy soldier with a brilliant mind and the evil seeing eye. The chess pieces he moved with a light heart, suddenly push him into darkness. Did the knight who was once wished to be a pawn capture the king? Post-mortem. Luke boards his nightmare to enter his trauma cove and begins unraveling his past and approaching it in the form of a problem to be solved. So you've come, Luke. I thought I'd completely hidden my presence, but you still found me. Kudos to you, Captain. Were you planning on running away? When the boss told me roughly what was to be expected of me, I tried, but here we are. You people in the Nightmare cover all your bases, don't you? Asking me to reveal my weakness? It seems you find this very unfamiliar. I wouldn't say unfamiliar, more repulsive, really. That, and I'm not quite sure what I even have to say. Even if you're asking about my past, there's nothing that would particularly stand out compared to everyone else around us. Let me just ask you a few things I've been curious about. Is there anything you remember about from your childhood that particularly stands out? Have you always been on good terms with Lucas? How do you end up becoming an agent? I'm going to have to go back and see all of these. If you want to ask my other questions, Luke held on to his silence as his darkened eyes stared deeper into the floor beneath him. So, he's always the same with all three. You're not glad to answer any more questions. Then what is the thing that is scaring you the most right now? There was a near indiscernible quiver to Luke's eyelids before he raised his eyes and met the captain's gaze. Looks like you have something in mind. Tell me. Alright. By the time I'm done telling you everything, I'll probably have gone over all your previous questions as well. Just give me a moment. He gradually loosened his tense shoulders. Luke closed his eyes in quiet ease. Uncharted amounts to little more than an unremarkable tale. In the aftermath of war that followed that great calamity, such stories became as common as the stones beneath our feet. That was how mine began. Just another stranger who'd passed by in the streets, one whose absence of a place to call home hung over them like a shadow. If anything, however, there were two things that made me a little different. My eyes and my twin. And because of these two aspects, my solitude amidst these hackneyed stories only grew heavier. Heterochromia, one eye that would occasionally blaze brilliantly, and the ominous eye that both twins shared. People called our eyes evil, sputtering rumors with the ability to curse those around us. What began as whispers soon swelled into a roar, and soon, even the caretakers of the orphanage began to look upon us with fearful disdain. Yet we didn't fault them. It was only natural that humans would want to distance themselves from things they didn't understand. And in my case, I was fine with it regardless, because we had each other. However, as is the case with most brothers, we eventually began looking in different directions as we grew older, and eventually grew distant, even though we knew we grew under the same blanket. I began to shun him. I no longer relied on him, and had even lost my respect for him. When I had finally gotten used to looking out for myself, I enlisted in the army, like most of the children of Iron Rain. Little did I know that I would voluntarily sign myself up to be haunted by a nightmare for the rest of my life, obliviously content with the choice I made. Captain, I'll be honest, given my personality, I'm having a bit of a hard time monologuing by myself with every little detail like this. I'm pretty sure I've already hit my daily average for how much I speak in a day. Is there any other method that comes to mind? You'll give me a slight nod. How would I format this talk as a quiz? Using it to follow my story as I recounted, and then guess whether I really did go through things like that. You don't have to feel obligated to answer everything correctly. The answer isn't really what's important. Regardless of the approach, the very act of sharing what I've endured, that's what holds significance. Is that okay with you? Why am I not using the simulator? Without the need for words, the captain's hesitance was written all over his face. Luke interrupted the captain's silence differently and spoke before the captain could. If your interest is lacking, I'll start by telling you the conclusion of this tale. Luke's right eye glinted in an ominous light. The story is what I ended up killing him in. You want to be let go, don't you? Opening. At 16, twins Luke and Lucas become Iron Rain cadets and face their first trial. Okay, already a story battle. Blast. It hasn't even been a week and I already want to go home. You have a home to go back to? Then tell us, oh prestigious one, how did the young master end up in the mud like us? Hey, it's just something people say. Who said you even need a home to want to go back? Home. Whatever. Imbeciles. How did an elite like me end up in the same camp as these half-wits? Friends, buddies, pals. Let's not fight amongst ourselves. This place is a home to all of us now. And who the hell is this guy? Oh, Lucas, you enlisted too? Nice to know training won't be as much of a drag with you around. You already putting the weight on my shoulders? Huh? I'll try not to disappoint, but don't get your hopes too high. Two is company, three is a crowd, and I'm crowded by idiots. Why? Wait a minute, that guy, his eyes. Look at his eyes. Oh no, don't tell me. Woof! I wasn't that type of reaction in a while. Oh, that? It's fine. Cut him some slack. He's a funny dude. I stand corrected. 2 idiots and 1 coward. Does it get any worse? Or you know what? Hey, you with the imaginary friend, you want to come say that to my face? I see my brother so doesn't act for attracting all the noise. To your positions. The men who had just been bantering like boys snapped to attention instantly, their backs as stiff and straight as the walls behind them. There was an odd mixture of anxiety, anticipation, and apprehension that grasped at the group in the deafening silence. Why the mask? As briefed beforehand, wait, no, there's one I needed to join. As briefed beforehand, today you all conduct special training in a battlefield environment identical to the real thing. All of you put to the ultimate test. Look at the topographic map in front of you. This is the battlefield that we will be deployed to. A regulated chaos that is completely closed off to the public. Your mission is simple. You've got 6 hours starting now to find and recover the mission flag hidden somewhere in this sector. Is that clear? Ma'am. Alright, it's good to know everyone here has a functioning brain above their shoulders. For this training, you will move in squads of 3. Each squad will have 1 assigned commander. Your survival hinges on the commander's orders. Follow them to the letter while on mission. Any questions? Ma'am. You got guts. Identify yourself. Yes, ma'am. I'm a recent graduate of Iron Man's Advanced Tactics Academy, and... No, your question? So how the squads will be divided. We're in agreement in frustration as she dismissed the recruit's question mid-sentence with a wave of her hand. The squad formations have already been decided from our superiors. Your call signs have all been updated to your equipment. Make sure you prepare yourself thoroughly and don't forget to check if the comms work properly. The mission will commence at 0400 hours. Current time 3:03:15. You got a 20-minute move, then we retreat. All personnel, gear up and stand by. Ma'am, yes ma'am. In here I hope we had less idiots this year. This thought is no different. So our imaginary friend's best man over here was also a dweeb like us. We haven't even started and he's already shooting for the commander's disdain. Sorry, ass has a standing around the dust-infested field longer than we need, too. Man, you really know how to push buttons. Hey, my new brother in arms, wait for me. How dare they look down on me? Anyone but them, please. Yep, I knew this was going to happen. What are you looking at? Got a problem? Me? No, how could I? Just admiring how I was teamed up with the local deadweight. You cynical son of a... I'm the one with the guts to ask a question, and you dare look down on me? I wonder what my brother is doing. Oh, that's our best. Our best? What best? The serve of life and I don't work well together. Can't say it's any better over there. And so you got time for idle chatter? As the squad's assigned commander approached with a peculiar gait, Luke could no longer afford to let his attention waver. Don't mistake this for some casual outing. Snap to it and move out. What's up with the new recruits this time around? Okay, yeah. It's still inside chaos, even if it's just training. I should focus on my own situation first.
가볼까? 준비 완료다. 가볼까? 들키지 않아. 준비 완료다. 가볼까? 준비 완료. 가볼까? 여기다. 준비 완료다. 가볼까? 받으라.
2 bullets.
준비 완료다.
Raining.
라스트 샷. 가볼까? 들키지 않아. 준비 완료. 여기다.
Done. There's my first time facing up against a real monster. I can see with the numbness in my hand from pulling the trigger. I have to get used to this. What the? That was a real invader? Is this really just training? We almost died just now. I believe your debrief of this training will be identical to a real battlefield. If this is all it takes to scare you witless, then I suggest you leave as soon as we get back. Well, I have to admit that was a little more than I anticipated. Right? I'm not the only one here, see? Whoa, we're not in the same boat here, Mr. Scaredy Cat. Are you done? Your break time's over. Come move out. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am. Phew. As we dealt with most of the ones we could see. Wait, the road splits here. I think I found a road sign over here. Yeah, Commander, what should we do now? Are planning to ask me about every little thing? What, you want me to pick out your meal and feed you too? My apologies. Come on, whatever happened to follow your commander's orders to the letter? Guy can't even tell us left or right. The way I see it, the commander simply has no intention of helping us out. No biggie. This kind of looks like some hidden message, but I can't make sense of it. Hey, Lucas's brother, come over here and take a look. You think you can make heads or tails of this? Yeah, come on, stop trying to hitchhike on us and do something, for crying out loud. Me? Hitchhike on you? Let me have a look. Now, under the sign it reads, how to proceed. That's where the courtesy ends. Below it is chock full of incomprehensible ciphers. The words how to proceed and itemized emblem are drawn on the sign. Beneath it lies a puzzle. The red line shall swallow the blue truth, and blue truth shall conceal the red lie. Luke walked over to the sign lying on the ground and scrunched down, locked his eyes on its contents. After a moment of silently scanning it, Luke's eyebrows creased as he stared deadpan into the center. I think I got the gist of it. There's no way forward. Instead, we have to go back below from here. Happy now? Let's move. Whoa, hold on. Are you insane? You want us to jump down this cliff? What brilliant genius led you to that? Are you sure you haven't even looked at the sign properly? You're just saying all of this to look cool, I swear. Oh. Hey, can you not see these dots here? What do you want about now? There's a cipher adapted from the old age printing method that uses half-tone dots. Look closer, you can see the sign is covered by these tiny red and blue dots. Ah! Without hesitation, Luke grasped at the recruit's collar and shoved his face down toward the sign line on the floor. It's true. How have I been able to tell from further away? Isolating the blue dots and cross-referencing it with the cipher, you could assign the points down. We probably expected to decode this by shining red light from the tactical lamp on the communicator we were issued. Now that you have my proof, let's move. The front recruit stood agape as he listened to Luke's explanation, and half screamed, half fumbled to take out his communicator and shone it on the road sign. As Luke said, the light hid the dots in it accentuate the blue ones, decoding the cipher. They are filled with quiet excitement. And you, without even using the light or even some magnifying glass, you decoded this with your bare eyes? That's impossible. It has to be those eyes. Quiet, all of you. We're not on vacation. We have found the way forward, so move out. Got that? Ma'am. At least not all of these clowns are duds. I think I'm going to have to report this one. I never planned to have stood out this much. Group leapt into the darkness. I got nicked all over. At least the height was lower than I expected. But it was pretty dark here. This is... Darkscar sighted it. Dead ahead. Better keep your head on straight, boys. We're surrounded. Get ready for battle.
가볼까? 들키지 않아. 준비 완료다. 받아라. 가볼까? 파이어. 준비 완료다. 라스트 샷. 가볼까? 준비 완료. 여기다.
We were in the clear. But ma'am, you mustn't. That's bad omen. Is it this way? Commander! There was one more. Chunked. We need to sit right up to the main unit. How's the commander? Hemorrhage on the shoulder. Where's the beat kit? Where's the beat kit? Holmes says, you're all overreacting. Damn it. How did the Darkstar get into controlled chaos? Ma'am, are you able to move? Negative. I'm barely able to keep myself conscious. Soldier, what's your name? Luke, ma'am. Luke, I'm handing the role of commander to you. From what I've seen until now, you're the most qualified. When you get to the flag, there will be one of the other personnel at the gathering areas. Move quickly and request support. Do you understand? Yes, ma'am. How long can you give me, ma'am? An easy question. How the hell would I know? Just get back ASAP. Ma'am, getting angry is only going to make it worse. I would accept whatever punishment you asked of me for my incidents when we return. So please, hold on until we return. Yeah. I'll hold you to your word, soldier. We'll be back soon.
가볼까? 받아라. 준비 완료답지. 이야, 가볼까? 여기다.
Hello, whoever joined. This is... How deep does this thing go? Shh, quiet. What is it, Luke? Luke silently jerks his head to the right. That's a Darkstar hideout? Wait, what? Did they decide to call this place home or something? How the hell did Iron Rain miss something like this and send us out here for training? You're right. No, I'm right? Hey, just what the... Shh, now. The Rebecca crew definitely clasped the right-up soldier's mouth. Luke hadn't even glanced in his squad administration and instead kept his eyes trained on the one soldier who was busy going through some chests. Due to the softer earth and debris of the underground, light imprints of footprints were strewn across the floor, but the tips of the feet were angled outward. Luke, time to make up your mind. You're in command. What should we do? Prince don't notice this yet. We must decide whether to ambush it or hold our breath and pray it passes by. Raid the warehouse. Don't get involved. Reason what to do is the footprints. I'm gonna assume that there's more in the tent, so we're gonna have to go around. Now that all's said and done, I hope we don't run into anything bothersome. Luke suddenly shook his head and turned toward the other side of the warehouse. We're just going to leave them like this? Yeah. Well, the community is also in pretty bad shape. Best to keep a low profile while we can. But there's an opportunity for us to rack up some credit. Guess I have no choice since you're all wussies. And for me or myself, I could take on these weeds like... You still have strength still... You still have strength left to act tough? Let's move already. This is spot A. Target is passed. Move into your position. Looks our crew to everything revealing a familiar face. No single promising crew in this match. So it was the wrong choice.
준비 완료다. 받아라. 가볼까? 라스트 샷. 여기다.
Hey guys, over here, I can see the flag. Finally, we finally made it. Aha! Hey, what? Hey, who's this other race? That dense bragger took off running. There's someone we haven't met before. Our recruits, salute the Protoss. Oh, actually seen a Protoss. Carry on. Good work to all of you making it this far. Didn't expect the training to be this rough, did you? No, sir. And it looks like no one was severely injured either, I'm impressed. However, recruits, well, you may have an item meant for me, don't you? It seems I've lost it. A round golden object. Did any of you happen upon it on your way out here? What's this object the Protoss is talking about? There's no sincerity behind the Protoss' congratulations. Could it be? Was our saber turning of no importance compared to the result that we should have had in our hands? So you have nothing to give. So look, there's no reason to involve himself in something so needlessly troublesome. Like, Luke feigned ignorance as he dodged the commander's gaze. It almost felt as if the air around him was getting heavier, but this didn't bother Luke one bit. Pawn. First ending. Was there anyone who would find it? Bummer. It was quite valuable to me too. You think we should go back and look for it quickly? Protoss, sir, I apologize for speaking out of this, but our commander next to you has an injury. Could we... There's no need to worry about that. The Darkstar's ambush in the warehouse... The Darkstar's ambush, the warehouse that the soldiers passed by, all of that was a part of your training. No way. So what happened, Commander? Didn't you tell me that there was someone worth my time here today? I've carved my precious time to come all this way, and with nothing to gain, I find myself displeased. I regret having disappointed you, dear Protoss, but I did believe we had at least one within these ranks. As I remember speaking, his eyes fell on her, fell on Luke. Luke, on the other hand, tried his best to avoid making eye contact. Is he the one? Sir, oh yes, sir. You, come closer. The air is getting tense. Yes, the cipher with the bare eyes. It seems you have impressive eyesight. I advise you to come up with an excuse worthy enough to convince me, because depending on your answer... The enemy's Protoss reached into his jacket and pulled out a firearm. They was tense as the Protoss paused mid-sentence to brandish his weapon. The noodle ultimately stopped within the barrel pointed directly at the commander's forehead. The commander may or may not see tomorrow. It's the cipher that... I believe I asked him. I was able to decode the cipher that was where the paths split. Just because of that, Lucas' magic eye picked up the tiny intention between the Protoss' finger and the trigger. Sir, please, please. With my bare eyes, I believe this is why the commander spoke highly of me. Yes, the cipher with Bear's bare eyes. It is an impressive eyesight. Well, as someone who has only heard of this remarkable achievement of yours, I find myself unimpressed. But I guess it was enough to have won over the commander's approval. Don't you think so? Yes, man. Yes, I'm grateful. Melrose lowered his weapon. The tense mood slowly seemed to regain some composure. I have no impression of it myself, but you're still someone the commander vouched for. You've got quite the ambiguous talent. I apologize for not being able to meet your standards. There's nothing to apologize for, since there was nothing I was expecting from you anyways. You may return. Thank you, sir. Luke bowed to the Protoss before taking his leave and turned around as he made his way to his companions. However, Your echoed with the sound of gunfire, and Luke's eyes widened in bewilderment as his brain began processing what just occurred. In front of him, you could see his two colleagues' faces, contort with terror and despair, but his vision blurred, dyed in the same sanguine red that erupted from the agonizing torment in his chest. Someone is to pay the price for stealing my precious time and ruining my mood. Sir! And I like this jacket too. Remember, next time, how about you bring me a recruit that has talent to die? Has talent to die without all the sword sputtering, Luke! What the? Medic! Call a medic! This repugnant screeching. Get rid of them all. No, you piece of... As soon as the force gave his order, the soldiers aimed the weapons in silent unison at the two recruits who were scrambling to get Luke. Instant wipe. Now his gunshots rang, and their training grounds were soon drenched in crimson, whirling around the two recruits gasping vainly in the ground. Commander. Sir. As I mentioned earlier, I honestly did not look forward to meeting any recruit who would live up to my expectations. Once I returned to the Empire from this deployment, I have a lot of unfortunate things to report. I'm unsure whether Iron Rain will continue to receive the assistance of other Protoss when the time comes. Quite heartbreaking. As someone who was brought up by the Iron Rain myself, I can't imagine how much this saddens me. There are still more training sessions active at the moment, sir. I'm sure if you're spared with some more time. Enough. Or squander my precious hours here. Of course, sir. Of course, sir. Take care, sir. Leaving Luke and the others writhing on the floor, the Protoss turned away and casually walked off. Man, it's just bad Protoss. Damn it. So what if he's from Iron Rain when he's spouting those empty words? He treats us like we're insects. Commander, what do you do with these recruits? Should we at least get them some first aid? Ha. Those two are riddled with holes. This one here took one straight through the heart. They'll be meeting their maker soon enough. Just stuff them somewhere before the others see them. You got that? Ma'am. You've got to be kidding me. Me? Going out like this? They've always boasted about how smart I was, but here I am, dying pathetically. The guys at home will probably feel ashamed they ever thought so. As he laughed through the pain in his chest, fully aware that his breath was growing shorter, he spotted Lucas at the edge of his vision. The every loss of blood was clouding his thoughts, but he saw his brother being restrained by the other soldiers. Luke! Are you insane? Stay right here unless you want me not to end like the rest of them. Lucas. Let go of me. I need to get to him. I need to save him. Ah, so this is where regret was. Never really thought I'd actually fully understand this emotion, but I guess I was wrong. I'm sorry, Lucas. I've always wanted to apologize. Like the final tendrils of flame being extinguished, the light vanished from Luke's eyes. And in the end, the now lifeless bright eye glazed over in a darkish hue. The life of a brilliant prodigy, blessed with radiant talent, came to an end beside the twin who had been with him from the very beginning. That's one ending. So that was the wrong choice, I see. What, did you just say what I think you said? Without moving his mouth, Luke maintained his usual straight face and gave a firm nod. Are you insane? That's just suicide. Hey, are you forgetting about the commander? We don't have time to waste. I'll go alone if I have to. Luke pulled out his weapon, and in a swooping movement, he left the cover of the bush and lunged in the direction of the Darkstar's warehouse. Luke, damn it, stop! Stealth reload. That one. Hope. Hope.
라스트 샷. 준비 완료다.
Hope.
가볼까? 준비 완료. 여기다.
I thought that would work. Just gonna get enough crits.
가볼까? 들키지 않아. 받아라.
Done. How is a mere recruit this good? Now Rain Badge dropped out of the collapsed Dark Star's clutches and fell near Luke's feet. Luke stared at the object for a moment before picking it up and stashing it in his pocket. It's over. You can come out now. Did you seriously just neutralize all these guys by yourself? Man, Lucas was hiding quite a scary little brother. Alright then, time to show these punks what I can do. Let me show your taste of your own medicine, you weak piece of... Careful what you say next. Well, you don't want to face punishment when we return. Isn't that right? There's even more of you? Who is it? Where are you? Cat's out of the bag already. You can drop the act now. Luke proceeded to take off the Dark Star member's helmet, and from underneath, the cruiser met with a familiar face. There is no face there. What do you mean, familiar face? What? How is the commander here? Holy cross of mercy, don't tell me. Are they long-lost twins? Such a trite cliché is quite repugnant. What gave it away? I'm certain the disguise itself isn't the cause. Your gait, ma'am. The commander's gait? What, like her walk? Hey, spit it out, tell me. Luke was quite obviously showing signs that he didn't want to bother explaining, but he eventually caved as the other recruit began getting increasingly rambunctious. The commander has a very unique way of walking that tends to stand out, almost as if to characterize her. When she walks, she does so with her toes angled further outwards to the sides than where her heels are. She also slightly drags her right foot. There was no possibility that two people who share such a distinct walking personality would be in the same place at the same time. Do I walk like that? Yes, and when in combat, the movement of your left arm seemed a little more awkward than that of your right. You meant to fake an injury, but you wound up with a real one, albeit lightly. Wow. So that's the real power of those eyes. If you don't need any further explanations, please take back the command. I think I've already accounted for I think I have already accounted for tomorrow's work. What? Sorry to break it to you, but you're the first I've ever seen who's discovered the disguise. So, till we make it to the flag, I want you to stay in command, Luke. Oh, and make sure to keep the thing I tossed you to safe. That's an order, so drop the scowl. We've got more work left to do. Man. Okay, I'll head out first. I'll see you boys at the finish line. Alright, let's go. Oh, no dialogue this time? There's one exception was the one the commander will awkwardly try to drop naturally. I guess this is the real test. I'd rather not deal with something so bothersome, so I guess I'll do it this way. Avoiding eye contact with the Protoss, Luke prodded his arrogant teammates back with the emblem. Well, hey dude, what do you think you're doing? Jeez, you scared me. What is it, Luke? Wait, what's up with that what's up with that you got there? This guy, his lack of awareness is unbelievable. Can't stand being stared at. Luke led him aside, like changed his plane on the fly and quickly slipped the emblem into the recruit's pockets without him noticing. And then, while putting on an emotionless face, grabbed the recruit's arm and forcibly made him lift it into the air. Yo, what are you? You there. Do you have what I'm looking for? I mean, it's just, where did it put it? Your pocket. My pocket, let's see. In my jacket pocket. Wait, no. Was it maybe in the pants? Huh, what's this? Photo, sir. Was this the object you're looking for? Something like this? Oh, quite the unexpected figure. You there, what is your name? Yes, I'm recruit graduate of the Ironman's Advanced Tactics Academy and... Not you, boy. The one standing furthest at the back. Your wits won't help you win this one, Luke. The Protoss has already seen and knows everything. He personally saw everything you did. Don't tell me. Luke phones desperately with his issued communicator and squeezes his eyes shut. His behavior sparks curiosity, and soon the other recruits start scanning through their devices too. What the? This device. There's a small lens attached to the back. The Protoss like to make sure that all the I's are dotted. It's faster than any reporting process, so he'll do whatever necessary. Now then, make way. Sir. You're an interesting one. I believe your name was Luke? Where are my manners? My name is... Gregian. I was impressed by your feats out there today, especially those eyes. You have exceptional perception. The ability to apply the information gathered and derive an answer showed remarkable insight. Most satisfactory. Thank you, sir. You have the makings of an excellent strategist. You may convince yourself that you're not just another pawn, but the knight's uniquely unpredictable ability to break through is unmistakable. That is simply a privilege bestowed to those who are worthy. Luke was looking at how Luke was staring at him with a confused expression. Gregian was slightly taken aback. My boy, you must not be familiar with chess. Actually, that might be for the better. Now I know what to do with you. You become my chess partner from now on. I'll teach you how to play. It'll be a good opportunity for me to learn the insightful strategies of today's remarkable youths. Hey, come on. At least hide your disdain. Anyone can read your mood from your face. Don't worry. I'm not asking this of you without something in exchange. The way I see it, you do have one aspect that keeps you from becoming an exceptional commander. Empathy. I can tell you're not entirely apathetic to your surroundings. You simply just need more polish when it comes to interacting with others. Let me show you an example. Just as you had done now, if I were you, I'd have tried your strategy with this fella instead of the arrogant one. What's wrong with me? I shall teach you this part that you lack. Along with that, we'll work on your innate capabilities and help you realize the real you. May I refuse this offer? Luke, cut the attitude. This is not civilian life. The Lord Commander has answered in my place. Now then, could I have your answer? Thank you for giving this opportunity. A satisfactory response. Don't worry too much. I'm certain you'll come to enjoy it. Yes. Very well. Starting tomorrow, you'll report to my quarters during duty hours. Goodbye, sir. Goodbye, sir. When everyone retained their bow until the Protoss left, Luke stared blankly at his boots and closed his eyes in a grimace. An odd sense of nervousness cascaded through the recruits and lingered. Hey, we didn't die this time. Gambit. In silent recognized by Iron Rain's Protoss Gregian, Luke becomes his chess opponent and falls in love with the thrill of pure strategy. Gregian's confident words were no bluff. But this relationship started off one-sided and eventually came to enjoy my chess sessions with the Protoss. When he told me he'd teach me chess, he did keep his word, but it was truly the most fundamental rules before I was thrown into a real match. He never tried to teach me things, and he always gave it his all. Honestly, I truly appreciated this approach. I need some water. You're here. So, were you able to learn from something from your last session? I'm still warming up to it. Excellent. Excellence and ambition. Come, have a seat. I'll show you an even better play than yesterday. With an antique wooden chessboard set between them, the two men sat down in relaxed postures. With a nonchalant expression, Luke took hold of the smallest white piece on the board. Interesting. Gambit, is it? What is that? The strategy that you're trying to execute right now is called the Queen's Gambit in chess. Oh, because he's moving the pawn in front of the king. Yeah, moving the pawn in front of the king to release the queen. Wait, no. That's not right. No, but it is right. It is the pawn in front of the king. I was right. Don't know why I doubted myself. You usually offer up a pawn, and if your opponent accepts, you gain control of the center of the board. I assume this is the first time you've heard of this strategy? Yes, since this chess is still new to me. Then, I shall gladly accept your show of good faith. So you know fully what I intend to do, and still set yourself up for it. You are already well aware of how to use your tools. The value of a pawn versus the value of controlling the center. You already understand what's important, and are always looking at the bigger picture. Well, isn't that how it usually goes? Very unlikely. Most people end up losing their reason, buried in petty sacrifices. One must always be prepared to give up their tools, be it the pawn, the rook, or even the queen herself. However, most will put too much weight on losing them. The pawn in your hand would find that disheartening to hear. Who plays chess was taking into consideration how their pawn would feel? You have a point. Until when returned to their tight lips, only the sound of wooden pieces moving across the board would occasionally break the silence. Do you remember what I told you about the tactic you tried to play last week? Yeah, the Bowden's mate. You checked me by using your 2 bishops. However, what I wanted to point out was not your usage of the technique itself. It was how you sacrificed your queen to make the opening for the Bowden's mate work. I believe it was quick counter to sacrifice 1-2 pieces, if it would bring you victory. No, what you did was distract me with your brazen sacrifice. You certainly got one over on me. To sacrifice your strongest piece for the sake of victory. I learned something that day. Well, no matter the piece, they'll just tools to help you win the game. And you're not wrong. My boy, have a knack for cutting through the fluff. You're the kind of person who can limit even your opponent's choices to the boundaries that you yourself regulate, and being able to respond to all the variables that come your way. That is a tried and true commander. You flatter me too much. It's only a game. And when you replace each of these pieces with, let's say, your subordinates, then it's a battlefield. Look here, I have you. Why didn't we greet one another? Gregyon teasingly tapped on his knight piece next with the tip of his finger. Luke scowled and made his next move. Seemingly in a good mood, Gregyon began humming a tune as he moved his pawn forward. And I'll swap this out for a queen. What's this about? Did I never tell you? It is called a promotion. When you take your pawn to the other end of the board, you can change it to a piece of your choosing. You didn't just make that one spot, did you? Absolutely not. You've heard of who is forged in turmoil, have you not? It is likely this game's iteration of that. And something that actually happens on the front lines? A simple soldier suddenly transforms into some exemplary general, someone on par with the capabilities of their queens? Do you think all generals are born with their ranks? People often learn from the deaths of others that you'd believe learn more from the deaths of that's it. People often learn more from the deaths of others than you'd believe. They become more earnest when they lose people they care for. It's within that earnesty where they realize their true self. I understand that what I just said may be difficult to comprehend, but you'll understand what I mean after you've experienced war. I still find this emotion hard to believe, but so be it. Enough complaining then. Show me how you'll overcome your predicament. Impress me. After listening to Gregyon's words, Luke silently studied the chessboard. Without the chessboard, the pieces were as still as Luke was silent, but the longer he stared, the more the chess pieces slowly transformed themselves into living, breathing things. Luke blinked for a few times to bring himself back to reality and focus back on the game. It's been roughly 3 years since Luke was introduced to chess after his recruit training, so he's been in the army for 3 years already. What was that? No, it said 5 years ago. Did it say 8 years ago at the beginning? Check that. See, 8 years ago. He was 6. Wait, we had a confirmed age. He was 16 when he went into the army. And if it's 8 years later, that means he is canonically 24. I'm gonna go double check that 16 number though. He's currently 19 by that estimation. He had reached a massive chess equal to his mentors and would no longer be granted the advantage of playing white. When Gregyon watched how Luke literally commandeered the chessboard with black pieces, he realized that despite his would far exceeded the expectations he held when they first crossed paths. I lost again. Isn't it boring to be winning all the time? I still enjoy our matches, sir. There's no need to be so humble. I'm often reminded of the first time we started all this. Back then, I got a kick out of teasing you, but now, I realize I've weaved a wolf among sheep. I was only lucky. All I did was, I know, master luck every day, ordinary soldier. I'm not sure if you remember, but today was our final game. Let me give you a reward for keeping up your win streak until the end. Gregyon took the white pink piece and handed it to Luke. With a reluctant look, Luke received the piece and shoved it in one of his pockets. Oh, right. You're leaving on the food operation next week, aren't you? Have you prepared thoroughly? No complaints that you're being thrown out onto the front line so soon? Given the operation comes directly from you, I trust there must be a valid reason. I guess I should thank you for your trust. The conversations we've had here will certainly aid you in the decision. So I hope you don't forget about these sessions. Also, that means since this is 5 years ago, this is in 2201. Understood, sir. Luke quickly moved his hands to organize the chess pieces that he had just used. Staring at Luke as he was clearing up, Gregyon flashed a cold and calculative smile. Okay, now I confirm that 16 number. Is it an opening? Yes. At 16, meaning he's 19 here, and he's now 24. Move back up here. There we go. Middle game. Under Gregorian's orders, Luke and the cadets are sent into the perilous chaos operation. Soon, everything begins to twist into a terrifying nightmare. Oh, looks like someone's dead there. Pawn. Bishop. There's a pawn, bishop, rook. I think I can't tell what that piece is. I'll probably see it better later.
지형 파악 완료.
Attention, all units. We'll begin the Operation Hunt at 0600 hours today. Squads 1 through 8 we deployed at set intervals, starting from the north and straight along to the east. Squad 1 will patrol the northern borders, and Squad 2 provides Squad 1 with backup when needed, and we should have 1 and 2 squads move together. Why are they separating us for this one? This is a problem. No one in Squad 4 can keep up with my talents. What the hell? I just got used for a time here and they decided to throw us out there right away like this? I'm in Squad 5, so I guess I'm the safest one. As boisterous as ever. Hey, Lucas, what squad are you in? Same as Mr. Addict over there. You in Squad 5. You? I'm with 7. I've been paired with Luke again. Your little bro is pretty amazing, you know. You got acknowledged way back when, and has been receiving personal lessons from the Protoss for a while now. Oh, so Luke is in Squad 7. I heard about his running with the Protoss too. So it's true. He's also been good at everything. But he's still got a lot more work to do if he wants to catch up with me. I've never heard everything from Luke. He didn't tell you? Always known that he likes keeping to himself, but I didn't think he'd keep stuff from his own brother. Talk about being cold. No need to worry. I'm always keeping an eye out for him, so I hear about everything eventually. He may act cold, but he's way too nice at heart. So never be one to turn his back. Luke, who had been standing a bit away from the conversation, picked up on his brother's words, winced, and quickly scuffled away. Ain't that right? Once you arrive at your post, each of you are to proceed with your duties. Comms will be handed out by each squad's RTO, who will be reporting at the top of an hour every hour, and so this really is a real thing. Aren't you getting the jitters? Our enemies are notorious invaders, same ones who took the lives of so many of our soldiers. Will I make it back out of this alive? Whoa, that's side we haven't seen. Come on, we've already graduated from the recruits training. Yeah. That wasn't like me at all. Putting too much thought into things was always Luke's thing anyway. Hey, if you're worried about how you and I match our radio frequencies, so that I can relay messages when needed, you got extra comms in case of emergency, so changing the frequencies to each other's shouldn't be that big a deal. The soldiers exchange their backup comms to match their frequencies. Luke, heads. Luke gravity grabbed the comms device that was lobbed at him. Use that to talk with your brother. Hey, Lucas, you too. If anything goes down, talk to Luke about it, okay? I love you to know I hate it when guys like being around or awkward with each other. You two better be 2 peas in a pod by the time we get back. How are you doing, man? We're moving out as soon as everyone's gathered. Get your asses over here. Yeah, on our way. Now soldiers disappeared into the distance. Lucas and Luke were left on their own. There was an awkward air between them. Luke. Be careful, alright? And make sure to reach out your hand to Big Bro if you're ever in trouble, got it? With a silent nod, Luke turned around and moved toward the right end at the gathering spot. Haha. Lucas put a sour smile on as he watched his brother. He gave a quick sigh and ran towards his colleagues in the middle. So reload, rapid fire.
가볼까? 준비
That's a
완료.
lot of bullets.
라스트 샷. 야. 가볼까?
Her. Where does quick trains go?
준비 완료다. 들키지 않아. 가볼까? 받아라. 준비 완료다. 가볼까? 라스트 샷. 준비. 파이어. 라이어다.
There we go. He probably would be fun to build if I can get his quick chance option need be. Damn it. Can you move? You look seriously hurt. The enemy numbers were greater than expected. Don't let pride get in the way. I don't know. I can barely walk, but I don't think I can keep up with everyone else. Go on without me. I'll find a place to hide in the meanwhile. It's really dangerous to leave you alone out here. I'm fine, man. It's embarrassing enough that I'm falling behind already. I don't need to be protected like a baby. At the moment, as Luke was worriedly staring at his ancient companion, a sound started to come from the comms in Luke's jacket pocket. That must be Lucas. This is Squad 7. I repeat, this is Squad 7. Lucas, what is it? Hey, are you okay? Are you hurt anywhere? A few of my squadrons are injured, but I'm fine. Huh. My appears sound okay. That's a relief. Over here. It's an absolute mess. It seems we were the first squad to advance. We're being stormed by invaders, left and right. I haven't given up yet, but it certainly feels like there's no getting out of this one. Lucas, you need to focus. It's crucial that you get a hold of yourself. Wait for me, I'm coming to you. What? No, you have to stick to the plan and do things on your side. Before Lucas can finish the sentence, Luke cut comms. So you decided then? I can't say I look forward to what will happen when you return to base. That's fine. Guys, sorry, but could you look after him? Get somewhere safe and stay hidden. When we return to base, I'll take full responsibility. What responsibility? If it's for Lucas, he's helped me out during training once. Don't worry about us, go help him. Thanks. Off like an arrow. Truly, just like Lucas said, his nature is a good one. Hold this leg up for me. Yeah, let's hunker down in the bushes over there. Reload. Rapid fire. Oh. Oh. Easy. It's a good thing I have marked the location of the command barracks. It's way too easy to get lost in the chaos. Using his glow-in-the-dark droplets to mark where I've been. I should use this in the future too. Time to go then. Is there no one here? If I want to find out, I need to get a better understanding of where each of the squads were initially deployed. After trying out a few of the buttons on the console table, a large map of the battlefield appeared on the screen, marked with several identifiers. On the glowing battlefield map, 8 blue dots lined up in formation, with countless red dots closing on them. Luke found himself dumbfounded as he fixated on the grid overlay of the map, with one square housing a singular blue dot. No way. What his eyes saw before him on the map was the battlefield. What his brain completely understood had stunned him. They have spawned advancing alone, the enemy approaching to claim it. This is a gambit. It's a huge chessboard. Oh. Meant to break down this early? However, unlike the Luke who had frozen at the civilization, blue and red dots in the map were all actively moving at high speeds. And yet, despite all that, once Luke had realized what he was looking at, things still fell into place for him. This is exactly like that strategy I used before. If this keeps up, Squad 4 will be completely overrun. The upside will be that it will give the rest of our side the advantage to dominate the center. You're already well aware of how to use your tools. The value of a pawn versus the value of controlling the center. You already understand what's important, and are always looking at the bigger picture. Well, isn't that how it usually goes? Very unlikely. Most people end up losing their reason, buried in petty sacrifices. One must always be prepared to give up their tools, be it the pawn, the rook, or even the queen herself. However, most have put too much weight on losing them. The pawn in your hand would find that disheartening to hear. Who plays chess with taking into consideration how their pawn would feel? You have a point. To sacrifice your strongest piece for the sake of victory, I learned something that day. No matter what the piece, there are all tools to help you win the game. And you're not wrong. My boy, have a knack for cutting through the fluff. Just like that time, just like my game with the Protoss. The chessboard that finally lay atop the screen and Luke's eyes suddenly filled up explosively. The pieces moved with ferocity. Each looked like its own battle. The pieces that lost to their opponents were severed in two and thrown off the chessboard. One of the pieces was decapitated, and the head rolled on the ground until it hit Luke's feet. Inside Luke's fantasy, all the wooden chess pieces that had transformed into human bodies. And being able to respond to all the variables that comes your way, that is a tried and true commander. You flatter me too much. It's only a game. I want to replace each of these pieces with, let's say, your subordinates, then it's a battlefield. Look here, I have you. Why don't you greet one another? Okay, so that was a bishop, not a pawn. It's a broken bishop, dead Lucas, pawn, pawn, rook, bishop, pawn. This is the full art for this. Any other pieces I'm missing? She kind of looks like the healer girl of Wolf Platoon. Brand new shadow, a mound of lifeless corpses in the chess pieces lie in the silence. A large hand reaches across the chessboard with dexterity, it moves the pawn to the center. A black pawn and a white one both cut one another in two and exit the field. A somewhat familiar recruit's face flashes up before Luke's eyes as they are impaled by the sharp tip of an invader's spear. This guy has a very vivid imagination. Are just expendable tools to you? Without even a hint of hesitation, the hand that placed the pawn quickly clears the piece and moves on to the next. Another black pawn is removed from the board. This time, a recruit that had been poisoned by an invader pukes blood from their mouth. Just accept it. You're always intrigued by this sort of thing. This game, where you cast your bait so that you can overtake and feel the exhilaration of conquest. A black rook bites the dust. Everything is moving in place, doing their required deed, so the ultimate checkmate can be realized. The shadow is cleaved by the onrushing invaders. It collapses to the ground as its face is slowly revealed. Why? Why did you abandon me, Luke? I didn't know. It can't just be us who dies because of your choices. You will pay for your sins. Intruder alert, commencing lockdown at the command station. As Luke was flating from the shock of his imagination, his hand accidentally pressed an emergency switch on the wall and the alarm began to wail. Jerked back to reality, Luke quickly grasped the situation and dove for the exit. Now that Chisholm made, nothing could avert the dilemma bound to occur. There never was any room for emotion in the first place, was there? Do I save his brother, or do I take care of the Protoss? I don't think he's in this state he's ready to fight the Protoss. He's laying his hand that out the chess piece on the floor. The searing pain he felt as his skin was torn away from his hand helped clear his mind. But that's a pawn. He was given a king, wasn't he? No, I can't hide it. Yeah, I mustn't rush this. What's more important now is saving my brother. I'll get another chance, I swear it. And when the time comes, I will return this bigger picture to him, 1,000-fold. Lucas, hang in there, I'm coming for you. When Luke was finally able to calm down, he stood up and took off in the direction of his next objective. Ending 3. Under promotion. I just love how everything is just... wait a second. They're all chess things. The opening, the gambit, or the pawn. Both involve a pawn, but the gambit involves releasing the queen. The middle game, under promotion, desperado, endgame, these are all chess things. That's so cool. Concerned by rage, Luke vows his revenge on Gregion, not only for the comrades that have been used, but to do his duty. A drifter with no place to belong, cast out by everyone. A life where gazes filled with disdain were more familiar than those of innocent curiosity. Yet I wasn't alone, so even as a child, I didn't care much for those who judged me. I convinced myself that I could just pick up put up a wall between myself and those who rejected us, and consider them to be stupid. Well, Lucas was different from me. No, we're to say he changed. When we were around 13, Lucas began cozying up to the very people who had spurned us, so 3 years before they joined the army. He would often fold his eyes into slits, as if trying to conceal those ominous eyes, and spout idiotic statements while grinning from ear to ear. His option of clown-like antics gradually diffused the curse-related rumors surrounding us, and was instead replaced by warm laughter. Thinking back, maybe he was just an idiot. Me, on the other hand, as someone who had often called a prodigy growing up, I couldn't understand my brother and the way he acted. Why would he want to be involved with dumb people? What I hadn't realized then was that my brother chose his way of life in order to protect us. The me I am today, I can acknowledge my brother's methods in some way. I think I even respect him for it. It wasn't like the others suddenly got all buddy-buddy with me, but they certainly weren't as wary as before. Because of his efforts, I was able to escape from the rumors that had haunted us for our curse and evil eyes. Yeah, it's due time that I be the one to help him instead now.
가볼까? 들키지 않아. 받아라. 야. 준비 완료다. 가볼까? 라스트 샷. 준비 완료다. 가볼까? 준비 완료다. 가볼까? 준비 완료다.
That's such a
가볼까?
weak thing.
준비
Like,
완료다.
look, this is gonna do more.
가볼까?
Burr. Burr time. Lucas, and the others too. I should examine their condition. I was late to arrive, and the site was already devastated. Without even having the chance to reach out for accounts dying best, everything had already ended. Grim premonition is never wrong. Despite heard footsteps, it seems already devastating. In the eerily sudden aftermath, you hear shadow breathing. There may still be survivors. Let's quickly survey the area. You're one of the guys that's always with Lucas. He's not breathing. Luke clenched his fists, shivered with frustration, and rage. I'm sorry, because of me. Damn it, they've lost so much blood. This one's not breathing either. I'm so sorry. Let's get that double fade again. Lucas! It's shallow, but he's breathing and I can still feel his pulse. The bleeding's too severe. I have to staunch it first. Administer emergency aid to Lucas. The event conversation with Lucas has occurred. With trembling hands, Luke quickly conducted first aid. Thank goodness I got here in time. I wasn't able to help the others, but still. Gregion, why do you do something like this? Lucas, hey, are you with me? Luke, it hurts like hell. Ow. Easy on the injury there, bro. Joking at a time like this? Guess you're doing better than most. I can barely even interested from dead or alive. And you're already picking fights? Try not to laugh, your wound will get worse. Yeah, I swear I thought I'd died not long ago. What's this? Why are you so pale? Well, we almost did lose your dependable older brother, so I understand that you were afraid. That hurts. You're really an idiot, don't you know that? Luke scoffed at the ridiculousness of the situation. That was enough to lighten his mood and erase the shadows cast on his face. Lucas couldn't help but smile as he watched his twin. Lucas, I have something to tell you. I'm all ears, I think. What happened to you? What happened to others? It's all because of me. What do you want about? Gregion, he based his entire operation on a strategy I used against him while playing chess. It was to move fast, sacrifice a few, and gain the big advantage from it. In other words, I was the catalyst, the reason you got hurt. When I was playing that game, I thought it was okay to think that the pieces were expendable. The entire fact that I thought that way makes me no different from him. Luke, get a hold of yourself. Do you realize how ridiculous you sound right now? That is just a game. To actually think of using the game's mechanics in real life is what makes that person insane. And yet the only person who could have stopped this from happening was me, at least in that moment. Hey, can you shut up and listen to me for once? Listen up. What happened today is not something you should feel guilt yourself over. But no, there's no but. If you want to bear responsibility, then pick your guilt-tripping butt up and go confront Protoss. As you said, there's only one who can stop this is you. What are you going to do? What have treated my injuries and I've had enough rest. I can move out. Don't run away from this, and do it for yourself. Do it for others. It doesn't matter. Just do what you have to do. Okay. Then, where will you go? Don't worry about me. Squad 5 has already completed their mission. I'm going to look for the waypoint and return to base. Alright, I'll believe in you. Just be careful, Lucas. Yeah, you too. As Oak ran off in the distance, Lucas painfully lifted himself up from the floor. Phew. Been a while since I played the big brother. It was just for a few minutes. As the older brother, I can't let him down. Alright, let's do this. There was no way to pinpoint Gregion's location with the map alone. I have to read his movements. To Gregion, the most safest place to be would be, if you think back to his house when he played chess, the castling. He's right. He knows where he was keeping his king safe and would move it to this corner. The amount of pawns he'd go through just to make it there. Put on a bitter smile, Luke threw what he remembered of the contents of the map in his head and whittled down his options. I think he pinned down the final few possibilities. I should get a move on. I need to get the jump on him when he believes he's safe. I don't think it's gonna end well.
준비 완료다. 들키지 않아. 받아라. 가볼까? 준비 완료다. 가볼까?
Right, that is a free cost, so I guess that is alright. But isn't it exhausted? Oh, it's not exhausted, good.
가볼까?
And then dead. So he's not here either. There are too many monsters. I'm not making much headway. Luke could hear radio static from within his pocket. Luke, can you hear me? Yeah, what is it? I was ready to leave the chaos, but not before they relocated the waypoint. Then they had to because of the invaders. I'll send you the coordinates now. Thanks. Luke, I was wondering. I did tell you to go stop Gregion, but what are you planning to do when you meet him? Are you planning to kill him? If you're concerned because of that promise we made, you've always been sharp. Back when we first enlisted, I asked you to only wield your weapon to protect another. This is the moment we use our weapons just for the sake of killing. It makes us no different from the ones that murdered our parents. Yeah, I haven't forgotten, so could you stop bringing that up? No, that's not what I meant, Luke. That's just the terms of the promise. I'm not saying that it's outright okay to kill someone. It's just, at least consider every other possibility before you go through with it. If you rack your brain about everything and yet that remains the only option, then I won't fault you for going through with it. However, let me take on whatever results from that with you. I may not be the most dependable person out there, but as your brother, let me have this much. What made you change your mind? Well, for starters, you're much smarter than me. If you of all people can't come up with any other option, then what more is there to say? Oh, whoops. I just said that clear doesn't mean that's gonna work. If you deem that going through with that is the only way, I just don't want you to shoulder being anything unnecessary. Okay, good luck out there, brother. Is he gonna make heads or tails if he's an idiot or not? It makes it sound like he's easy enough, but meanwhile, he just made things harder.
준비 완료. 들키지 않아. 받아라. 라스트. 파이어. 라스트 샷. 가볼까? 준비 완료다. 찾아온다. 이 빈틈.
There's one more stack to this. Both burr. There we go. End turn. Start. South reload. Rapid fire. Oh. have so much in my head already, but these things just won't let up. So I guess this is what they mean by being surrounded by enemies. Wait a minute. Right, I was once told that I could use the opponent's pieces against them. Luke holstered his gun, carefully picked up a rock. Looked at the rock to the right, and it fell with a clatter. Urged by the sudden sound of rubble, the invaders all rushed toward the origin of the sound. In chess, the opponent's pieces can be used as part of my strategy. You're no different. I think I'm going to need your help.
가볼까?
Reload.
준비 완료다.
Bullets. Oh. I should kill it.
라스트 샷. 가볼까?
Oh.
죽지. 파이어.
was not dead yet.
라스트 샷. 준비 완료다. 찾았다. 이 빈틈.
Dead.
가볼까?
And dead. Good, that should be enough. You're late, Luke. It's almost as if you were expecting me, sir. As Gregorian slowly turned to face him, Luke could see calmness in the Protoss' face. You're one of my valued men. Of course you're always welcome here. It seems you've already come to your conclusion about today's events, so you're probably here to me or reasoning, am I correct? Not for the explanations, for answers. And to see you take responsibility. As soon as Luke finished talking, he pointed his gun at Gregorian. Raising a gun at your superior is a severe violation of military regulations. In the army, you'll be sentenced to execution. Are you sure you won't regret it? It's simply a tool to facilitate our conversation. If you agree to what I say, then we both get to walk away with the same amount of holes as we had when you walked in. So first, I'd like to hear your reasoning behind why you do something this crazy. You probably already know, but in war, behind every glorious victory lies mounds of honorable deaths. All I do is convert your generous tactics into reality, and yet it didn't seem like this operation required much such sacrifices. And you had countless other strategies you could have chosen from. I find it quite perverse of you to cherry-pick mine to execute your fantasy. An excellent critique. As you said, if my sole goal was to exterminate a few invaders, I had no need to go so far. Just like how things are at this exact moment, one of my other goals was for you to come find me after your realization. So what? Just to bring me here? Luke, don't play dumb with me. I know you've already at least suspected it. In his mind, Luke cast the present scene upon a grand chessboard, the White King considered his farthest rank, and before it a black pawn that had pressed forward to the very front, now standing alongside. He hadn't noticed it sooner, but the pawn that had been busily advancing to the approach towards the opponent king was already a single move away from reaching the other side of the board. Did I never tell you? This is called promotion. When you take your pawn to the other end of the board, you can change it to a piece of your choosing. You didn't just make that up on the spot, did you? Absolutely not. You've heard of heroes forged in turmoil, have you not? There's exactly this game's iteration of that. People often learn more from deaths of others than they believe. They become more earnest when they lose people they care for, and it's within that earnesty where they realize their true self. And this is that what I just said may be difficult to comprehend. You will understand what I mean after you've experienced war. I shall teach you this part that you lack, and along with that, you'll work on your innate capabilities, and you'll realize the real you. You're much crazier than I expected. So I exceed your expectations? My, I'll take that as a compliment. Hearing Gregorian's words, Luke's hands began to tremble slightly. Taking this opportunity, Gregorian smiled and took a step forward towards Luke. You, who concealed your presence and wore the mask of mediocrity throughout your entire training, rose into a cold-hearted hunter, set on pursuing me. Class mention. Return to the headquarters with me and become the hero. The succulence of victory will drown out meager things like the death of a few collies. Only then will you be reborn as a knight, one exemplified by your exceptional hunting and sound strategies. This is the under-promotion board. The knight cannot take on his own king, Luke. You can never shoot me, as long as we remain in this nation. You'll always be my loyal piece. Gregorian carefully grasped the barrel of Luke's gun and began to lower it. When he felt no resistance to his action, the superior lit up with a satisfactory smile. Justice lies at the end of this trigger, but with the thought of betraying my promise, my brother weighs heavy on my finger. Lower up and aim with the Protoss. I understand why you did what you did, but I cannot comprehend your methods. It's not helping your situation in the slightest. If anything, you strengthen my convictions to pull this trigger. Pity. I'll give you one last chance to keep your life. Use this to contact HQ and tell them to cancel all missions. Confess everything you've done. Only then will you be taking responsibility for the lives you've abandoned. You can all this way. You're still bound by petty emotions. It seems I've overestimated you. Instead of answering, Luke took out his radio and opened comms before holding out it for Gregian. Guess I have no choice. I understand. I made a mistake. I will cancel all operations and confess. Gregian let out a heavy sigh and reached out for Luke's radio. In an instant, he smacked the gun out of Luke's hand and landed a powerful kick into Luke's gut. You're showing too much mercy. HQ, joining me, this is Gregian. I'm reporting an emergency. A rogue soldier has stolen a gun as a threatening command. What in the... I'm currently being held hostage and... Wait, who is this? Luke, are you alright? Why am I hearing that bastard's voice and what is this about hostages? What? This is... Damn it. Lucas, cut the comms, now! You dare play games with me? Enraged, Gregian snatches the gun that Luke had dropped, points it at him, and pulls the trigger. However, instead of a gunshot, the dull sound of an explosion rang out as the gun blew itself to pieces. With an injured and trembling hand, Gregian glared at Luke. You rid the gun before all this. Looks like you used up your last chance. Wait, don't do anything stupid. The moment you kill me, you'll be sent to the gallows. You don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to be the one who deals with you. Do you think dropping me from up high will kill me? You instant fool. I'll slowly destroy you when I return. So under Gregian's wrathful cry, the invaders started diverging below the cliff. What? Where did all these invaders come from? Get off me! Luke, to the very end, you're clinging to these petty tricks. Do you think you can get rid of me that easily? The Citroen will be coming here soon. They will find me and bring me back to HQ. And when I return, I'm going to kill you first. You may run, you may hide, but I will find you and tear you to pieces. You are right. The most chess piece can do is to not protect their king. So as for your final moments, I'll leave that to some higher power to decide. If you can hold out until the search party arrives, I will gladly accept your offer. I was wrong, Luke. I never abandon my supporters again. I'll even beg on my hands and knees for those who survived. Then we just saving a soul once, just once, help me. You ingrate. You dare repay my kindness in blood? You rage over your comrades' deaths, yet does my life mean nothing to you? Hypocrite! There's nowhere left to run. Get away from me, What happened at the very last moment? Until the struggling and bloodied figure stopped moving entirely, Luke watched the entire scene without even a blink. He completed his vengeance for his slain comrades by watching Gregian's end through to the last. Nom nom nom. Under promotion. The captain solves every raid and reaches Luke's hidden past. Luke reveals the truth and leaves the Epion sender behind. Also, that was the correct path. Congratulations on arriving at the truth, Captain. Knowing you, I truly believed you would be able to make it to the true ending. I was able to keep my promises, Lucas, while also dealing with the issue in my own way. It was something I contemplated about over and over again as I made my mind to my way to Gregian. My genes gave me the same brain as my brother. I would be rotting in a cell somewhere, and we wouldn't be having this conversation. I see you really tried to keep your promise with your brother. Well, I also couldn't get over the fact that if I did take him directly, I'd end up becoming the same person he was. Repaying his murder as an act of revenge is, in the end, just using a human life for the sake of my own convenience. So what happened after? The operation obviously ended up a failure. Iron had lost their valuable Protoss and whatnot. That's another named Protoss has died, but this time it wasn't self-sacrifice. Hey, we got one. At least, because of that, there were a lot more of us to return to life than was projected. Of course, all of us were demoted. And with the others, I almost got close with them. Well, I say almost because... Luke, get over here, quick, there's something you gotta see. Hey, I know you're listening. He's annoying us again. Hey, let me apologize on my brother's behalf, come on. How about we calm down a little? Try to get along with that guy, but it's impossible. He just looks at us like we're just like we're just air. Oh no. The air contains oxygen, important people. If you're looking for a more apt comparison, probably he looks at us like we're insects, wouldn't you say? Hey, the truth can hurt, you know. You don't have to bring it out into the open like that. When we returned, I went back to my usual attitude and just ignored them. They grew tired on personality and distanced themselves. I see. I can leave since we're done here, right? I've just spoken a year's worth of conversation with you, Captain. I need to get some rest now. Oh, and everything we talked about today, I'm the only one that knows, so I strongly urge you to keep it strictly confidential, especially to Commander Barrow. I know, don't worry. Thanks, Captain. Noticeably with the weight off his shoulder, Luke stood up, checked his equipment, and threw open the door. There's one more thing before we end our session. What is it? After being demoted, how do you end up meeting Barrow? Captain, wasn't the point of this session to talk about my trauma? That much intel should be more than enough for the captain to make use of in the mission. The less talk the better. Let's leave the unrelated aside. But I'll leave it at, Lucas brought her over one day and introduced us. Then, I'll head out first. The playable figure that appeared just before leaving wasn't something you'd expect from a detached prodigy. And that fleeting smile, the curve of his lips and the tilt of his eyes mirrored his brother, Lucas's expression perfectly. Novelty. After Gregan's accident, Luke remains at the train base, unable to find his unit. Through Lucas he meets Barrow and begins anew. There's the music. Hey look, it's been a while, buddy. What do you want, Lucas? Ice cold as always, huh? But I doubt you can keep that attitude when I find out why I came for you. Luke, your trustworthy big bro is someone to introduce to you. I believe I already told you that I have no need for contrived acquaintance. Whoa, it's not like that. It's actually related to work. Don't you think we've been warming up the bench a little too long? That is a really good opportunity. Let's go back out there, to the front lines. Forget it. I don't mind spending my days like this. You think this camp will house a freeloader like you forever? What the hell was that for? Just a wake-up call for the local idiot. Just go say hi, okay? I can't believe the idiot called me an idiot. Fine. Where are they? I've already arrived. Huh? Oh, hey, Barrow, over here. Lucas, do you get conned or something? What, me? Con? Psh. This here is the commander of Wolf Platoon, Barrow. She heard about our feats on that fateful day and wanted to meet both of us. We're about to be scouted, buddy. Wait, 5 years prior. Feels like it was a rough timeline for her as well. Pleasure to meet you. So you're Lucas's famous brother? Hello? And by famous, it's totally not in the good way. Nonsense. Lucas has spoken highly of you on many occasions. He mentioned that you're an amazing genius. You still respect and follow him. Lucas. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard that one before. I'm sorry, but I'm not a genius. It was my fault the commander died. Wasn't it just an accident? You bear no blame. I heard that he was attacked by monsters when he was by himself, but I am mighty. You do not interfere for my safety. How is one expected to protect their unit when they can't even protect themselves? Protect their unit? Have you played chess before? Chess? What might that be? It's a board game from way back in the past. You use your pieces to capture the king. Oh, so it's a game that requires you to use your head? Unfortunately, I do not indulge in such games. Strategy is not my job. Do you enjoy that game? Yes, well, it's not really that difficult. I see. Then you should teach it to me someday. Learning it together with our squad mates could be fun. Lucas, you also want to learn a new game, don't you? I'd rather avoid games that require too much thinking. But if Barrow finds it fun, then I obviously have to give it a try. Luke, I learned about a new game today. Want to play with me? You learned it by peeking at others playing it, didn't you? This doesn't let you play with them next time. They're more likely to let you play with me anyway than... Just ask them to let you play with them next time. They're more likely to let you play than me, anyway. As if, that doesn't matter anyways, because I only stayed to learn about it, because it looked like something fun that we could do together. Okay. You two are quite alike. What do you mean? I've known Lucas that much longer than you, but it's said that we are alike. That's a little... Say what now? It was a joke, so don't get too worked up. Because it worked up. No, I'll just join the platoon. I was right? I knew you'd want to join. That was a sudden change in attitude. May I ask why? Wait, I know. You were captured by incredulous charisma. Yep, sure. We can go with that. You being serious with joining then? I don't want to disappoint you. Going on missions with me and my platoon will be an exciting journey. I should introduce everyone in the squad right away. Look forward to your contributions. Yes, Commander. I shall be in your hands then. As Barrow's booming voice pulled him forward, Luke suddenly felt as though he were taking his first step beyond the wooden chessboard. Escaping the black and white grid he once confined himself in, he resolved to find his own path. Now then, let's see the other ending. And path. Back to middle game. Is all the way back here? Is anyone here? Let's quickly go through this part, because we already read this. That's so early.
또 실수했어.
How much was there that you have to go through again? This is a lot. You could have cut it one scene further, not all the way back here. Here we go. Luke watches the White King piece fall on the ground. He really reacted by crushing it with his feet. Feet instead of hand, I see. Yes, the person that deserves all of my vengeance. One single person. Yet they're the only one who can put a stop to all this madness. Gregian, I will find him. And once I do, I'll eliminate him with my own two hands. When Luke was finally able to calm down, he stood up and took off in the direction of his next objective. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3. But they usually have 4. Interesting. Consumed by rage, Luke vows revenge on Gregian, not only for the comrades that had been used, but to do his duty.
지형 파악 완료.
There was no way to pinpoint Gregian's location within the map alone. I had to read his movements, so Gregian, the most safe place would be... Oh, there's the same thing. That's right. He'd always prioritized keeping his king safe, and would move it to the corner. Not enough pawns to go through just to make it there. Putting on a very smart, Joe remembered the coordinates of the map in his head and whittled down the options. Then I found out the final few possibilities. I shall head out soon. Vader's weakest when he thinks he'll be the most safe he'll be.
준비와 들키지 않아. 받아라. blood.
Done. One battle. Several was at this place, but I've left 2 more places. But once I do find them, what do I really even do? Hey, you're going to enlist? It's been a while, Lucas. What's gotten into you, man? You never wanted to be a mercenary? Well, since nothing I aspire to be, I just thought I'd follow orders. You just thought? It's that simple? Do you need some sort of fantastic convictions or something? Fanatic convictions or something? I don't want to hear from you, Lucas. I can't say that enlisting just to chase after a girl you fell for is any better. Don't worry. It's not like I'm afraid of training anyway. That's not it. If you enlist, you'll inevitably end up with a gun in your hands. Hope they can kill people, Luke. The same way they took Mom and Dad from us. Don't you remember how much we hated those people back then? By enlisting in the army, we're setting ourselves up to potentially become just another like them. Are we really okay with this? Yeah, already thought about it that much. I won't change my mind, no matter what you say, Lucas. Stop trying to convince me. Fine, I won't go against you enlisting. Just promise me one thing. You will only ever use a weapon to protect another. You must never, never use a gun for the sake of killing them. Lucas, if war breaks out, that's not even an option. I know what I'm asking is ridiculous, but I still want us to live by a different life. I want you to promise me. Fine. Probably won't ever let this go if I don't anyway. Thanks, Luke. I'm leaving then. Did I only ever use a weapon to protect another? I'm sorry, Lucas. I guess I'm going to have to leave, break a promise.
가볼까? 들키지 않아. 받아라. 파이어 준비 완료. 라스트. 가볼까?
Done. Not here either. There's only one place left then. Luke, you hear me? Here. Damn, is it broken? Lucas, are you alright? Huh. You probably found a place to hide and I'm camping now. How about you? Are you alright? I'm fine. It's a relief to know you're safe. Are you with the others? How are they doing? I'm alone. I won't rise to my destination. I'll hang up for now. Wait, your destination? What are you doing away from your squad in the first place? Don't tell me. You went up with something dangerous. Lucas, take care of yourself. As soon as Luke turned off his radio, he dropped it on the ground and shot it. Now, there's no going back. Luke gripped the gun in his hand and advanced towards his goal.
준비 들키지 않아. 받아라. 라스트 샷. 찾았다. 이 빈틈.
Oh, just a little delayed pop. A little Omewa motion through. Lower your weapon, Luke. And why should I? Are you afraid? Afraid? Not a chance. Do you realize what you're doing? Yes, I do. Raising your gun is superior violation of military regulations. In the army, you'll be sentenced to execution. All you're doing right now is blocking yourself from ever returning to your world. So let me say it again. Lower your weapon. I am merciful, and I do look out for you. So I'll bury this event as if it never happened. Merciful? You? Leaving Squad 5 to fend for themselves while they act as bait. Is that merciful to you? This is simply a necessary, yet honorable sacrifice needed for this operation. Not a chance. You simply use them as bait to attain your victory. And such as war. Luke. Besides, this strategy only ever saw the light of day because of you. All I did was convert your tactics into reality. Hearing Gregor's words, Luke's hands began to tremble slightly. Taking this opportunity, Gregor smiled and took a step forward towards Luke. You truly are my most loyal chess piece, Luke. The pieces never bear a grudge against the king. The sole purpose of existence is to protect the king. Gregor carefully grasped the barrel of Luke's gun and began to lower it. And he felt no resistance to his action. The sphere lit up in a satisfactory smile. Wise choice. Now, hand me your gun. You're right. Priests cannot take out the king, but my presence here means they've already stepped off the chessboard. Luke raised his weapon and Gregor once more. There was not even an inkling of doubt in his movements. Before it all ends, let me just ask one thing. What really made you conjure up all these vile decisions? This is but a small operation, so insignificant that it wouldn't even award you any honor. You should have realized by now, so seeing as to how you're asking, you just want to get a confirmation. Luke, you must accept reality. Everything that was done today was to prepare you. This is all for you. Enough, that's enough. That's all this is. How do you even justify that this was for me? Luke, none of it matters anymore. No, my affiliation or whatever it may be. Goodbye, Protoss. For the knight removed from the board, the king no longer bears any meaning. Standing before the muzzle of a gun, the commander spews excuses, insisting that this wretched boy was meant for my own good. The gunshot thundered, and the Protoss, struck through the vital point, fell back lifelessly. Luke stared coldly at the faint smoke that rose from the muzzle of his gun, and the Protoss sprawled out on the floor. The reason you did all this was because of me? But what gave you that idea? No, it doesn't matter why. The dead will never return. And so will the fact that I was even part of his plan. The one thing when the chessboard appeared in his mind, Luke couldn't help but react to something that came rushing forward from his gut. He gagged a few times, but nothing came out. Would this be enough for me to have repented? No, I killed someone with my own hands, so if anything, it would have added more to my sins. Yet, even though I just killed someone who was just alive moments ago, I don't feel anything. Fear? Sadness? Not even happiness or relief. Am I as broken as he was? Maybe I stopped being human the instant I came up with a strategy that absurd. Protostar, we had gunfire and... Luke, what have you done? Bernstein, move in and subdue him. Disarm him first. Without any resistance, Luke dropped his weapon and was restrained. Dragged down onto the cold ground, Luke quietly closed his eyes and accepted the price of what he's done. Stalemate. The quest of the bloody revenge is as immense as Luke had feared. The brothers exchanged what may be their final farewell. Hey, did you hear? The recruits got visitation today. Oh, the guy that shot his superior? I'm surprised he got approved, given his offense. I think it's his brother. Heard they were both trained together. Guess that adds up. Who else would come all the way out this backwater hellhole just to see a death row inmate? Well then, do we know for sure if he's on death row? Several appeals for his clemency have come in. What good that'll do? You think they're really going to let him off the hook when he killed his Protoss? People of that caliber are few and far between. They say even the military court can't do anything about it. Poor kid. Why would such a youngster do something like that? I heard he was even the Protoss protege or something. Quite obvious, really. I suppose was at it again, sending his subordinates off to the meat grinder. His way of weeding out the worthless. So he comes up with opportunities just to get rid of people? What the hell? What? You think all of them high up, they are philanthropists? This place is full of people who wouldn't think twice about killing their subordinates just to save their blood. The mood. That one just happened to snap. What? With the young ambition's blood pumping through his veins, probably. The rumors all mentioned that he did to get revenge for all his colleagues that died. But a curious superior? Why would he squander his life this way? Still so young. If you are sorry for him, go grab the door quickly, so we can squeeze whatever visitation time we can get him. This might be his last one, too. The old door of the dust-laden underground prison creaked open with a harsh metallic groan. Hey you, get up. You got a visitor. Why is he so blue there? Luke, what took you so long? Wow, those chairs here are so bad, aren't they? Comfy. Aren't so bad, are they? Comfy. Lucas, how did you... You and I are still in the same training grounds, so even if I tripped and fell, I'd probably end up at these doorsteps. What would keep me from coming? But I have to say, finding my way here was a doozy. Man, I must set this place up like this on purpose to disincentivize jailbreaks. My bad. I went a little overboard with that one. Guess I soured the mood. Just be yourself. You're here because there's something to say, aren't you? The guys and I fired a petition on this time. Well, I guess it was more like me strong-arming them to sign it. How about it? I'm not impressed by our big bro's congeniality. There's not many people who can do it. Do what I do, you know. Stop it, please. Do you want me to stop? Hey, who do you think I'm not Do you think I'm not keeping count of how many times you've called me stupid? Lucas, I committed a crime. I deserve the punishment that follows. Huh. Can I ask why? Before we enlisted, I made you a promise. I practically begged you. With Protoss, he used our squad mates as bait. Everyone that died was just because of him. No, it was because of him and me. Cut the crap. Why are you putting yourself in the same shoes as him? I'm going to put you in the life or death situation. That was me. That strategy was born from those damned years I spent playing chess with me. Do you get it now? Oh hey, I just saw your message. How are you? Yeah, I'm just doing the story and stuff, making sure I can analyze everything. But from this, I was able to actually get a confirmed age. Oh, I can get a confirmed age of someone. So that's useful information. Do you get it now? You almost died because of me. Is that it? Is that why you did this? The red container's fury, Lucas slammed the table with such force that a deafening echo reverberated through the visitation room. Was getting that piece of trash with your own hands and getting yourself arrested and killed the end of your atonement? What about me? What about the me to try to look after you and give you whatever better life I could. All we have left is each other. But did you ever stop to think about me? Look at me properly, Luke. Did you ever put me before yourself, even once? The guards burst in, wresting and pried Lucas away. His hands locked on his brother's collar like a vice. I'm sure that there was another way to go about this. Maybe. But that was the only option I had. Because I didn't want to get dragged into that filthy scheme and become the same kind of person as him. Regrets? I don't have regrets. I can't forgive you for making such a rash decision. I know. But fine. One day I'll be able to forgive you for all this. You and I are brothers. That will never change. Just forget about me, Lucas. From now on, live for yourself. You can give up on yourself if you want, but I will never give up on you. Find a way to get you out of here, so stay alive until then. I'll see you soon. After Lucas and the guards left the room, Luke slumped his forehead against the cold concrete wall. It's not like I truly believed that you'd give up on me. You never change, do you, Lucas? He closed his eyes in silence, replaying the chain of events that had brought him here. What move should he have played, that the two brothers might not have come to this end of mutual ruin? No matter how much Luke thought about it, he couldn't find a desirable ending. It was almost as if this was a predestined fate. Yeah, someone had destroyed the chessboard entirely. Even if I were to be destroyed simultaneously. It's evident that this was how it was meant to be. Luke composedly closed his eyes. His mind slipped away, drowned in this silent dark. Okay then. So I got some useful information about characters' ages. There's other stuff in a bit. But yeah, good to know. But with that, that's everything I had planned for today. So, take care, Protoss, and until 0 turns to 1, I'd make sure and keep